What's going on, everybody? JD Game here, and today guys we're going to be going over a full tutorial on SHAREFACTORY. So in today's episode what we're going to focus on specifically is the video editor. As you can see, you got the bits, you got photos, you got the toolbox where you can import stuff. Today we're going to focus specifically on making videos. Now, in this tutorial as well, I want you guys to note that I'm going to have a list on the screen pop up right now of everything you need to know that we're going to go over, just in case you kind of know how to use SHAREFACTORY and there's something in particular you're looking for. Plus, if there's anything you guys are wondering how to do, just shoot me a comment down below and I'll see if I can do my best to help out. So without further ado, let's jump into this tutorial. So to start a project off, the first thing that we got to do is make sure that we're under a video editor, and we want to click on the new project button. So we're going to do that. And then it's going to let you choose a theme. In my opinion, I personally don't use any of these, and it doesn't really make a difference to me, but if you want to click on them, you can choose any one of them. In this case, I'm going to go with the PlayStation Creator Pack. As you can see, it's going to give you cool little intros, outros that you can choose, stinger clips after the video is completed. In my case, I'm going to actually deselect all of these because I don't need any. If you want to check them out and see what they're like, what you can do though is, as you can see, whenever I'm hovering over the clip, I can actually click R2 and this is going to play it for me. And it'll allow me to see what they all look like. Just like that. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to select the clips that we want to edit. Now, in my case, as you can see, I've got a lot of mine not really organized, and they're kind of all over the place. You could see Minecraft, you could see Rocket League, Dead by Daylight, Uno, you name it, I've got it. So what you can do to organize these, if you don't have your clips organized, you can actually come over to the left here, and if you go down, you can actually go by game. So if I click the right arrow on game, as you can see, it's going to filter by all the different games that I have. In my case, today, I'm going to be editing a Minecraft video, so I'm going to select Minecraft. Here we are, and there's all the building competition clips that I'm going to end up needing and using. So then, once you know what clips you want to use and you've selected what you need, what you're going to do is you're going to click X to select. Now, when doing so, you're going to see numbers pop up. And the purpose of these numbers is, whenever you're editing, that's the order in which you're going to have these clips pop up. So I'm going to start selecting some clips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the ones that I need and maybe a little more. You can change these around later, so it doesn't matter. And then once you have everything selected that you want, as you can see at the bottom, you're going to want to click square, and it's going to ask you if you want to start your project. You can rename it if you like. In my case, I'm just going to continue right through. Once you continue, you're going to see that you have all the clips that you want, and you can actually navigate them by clicking R1 and L1. So if I click R1, it's going to bring me to the next clip, because as you guys can see, these clips are kind of ridiculously long. So being able to navigate quickly definitely helps a lot. So R1 and L1, that'll definitely help out a lot. Now, if you want to watch the clip and you want to see what's going on, you can click R2 and it'll start playing. What's going on, everybody? JD Game here, and today, guys, oh boy, we are back with an exciting one. I guess today we're back with an exciting one, as you can tell. And for anybody curious, just in case you're coming around just to check out the SHAREFACTORY tutorial, this is the building competition we have. Winner actually gets free merch, so should be a pretty exciting one. Now you might be wondering, well, from here, what are we going to do? How are we going to edit this? Well, there's two screens you need to be very familiar with whenever you're editing on SHAREFACTORY. There's the adding screen, and there's the editing screen. So let's start off with the adding screen. Let's say you find all your clips, but you realize, something doesn't seem right here, or I need to add something. Well, you're going to want the adding screen. In my case, I'm forgetting an intro. I just recently came back to the old one that I started, and to add clips to your project, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click X. And it's going to bring you to the add screen. Now you can add clips, you can add screenshots, tracks, music, transitions, all that good stuff, especially overlays. That one can be very useful. But let's start off with just adding clips. So we'll click on Add Clip, and it brings us to that menu that we were brought up to earlier. Once again, you can filter by game, you can select, or you can go by category. There's a bunch of different things. But in my case, I'm just going to go down, and I'm just going to find the clip. All right, there we go. So I found it. Once you find it, what you got to do is you got to click X. As you can see, it's selected, and square to add. And just like that, we added the intro. All right, so now that we have an intro, and we got the beginning of the video, what we're going to want to do is we're not going to want to leave it just like this. We're going to want to add something to it, right? We're going to want to add subscribe and like. So what I'm going to do once again is I'm going to click X. That's our add button. And we're going to want to add an overlay this time. Not a clip, an overlay. So we're going to click on that. And then as you can see, it brings us up to a bunch of stickers. Now what you can do is you can filter through, you can go check it out, you can see what you like. But in my case, I want to use the like and I want to use the subscribe. So you can only do one at a time. So we're going to start off with like, and I guess we'll go with, let's go with the first one, why not? So you click X to select it, and as you can see, you got the duration. We're not going to worry about this because you can worry about that later. So I'm just going to click X to confirm. Then what we're going to do is we're going to want to hit transform. That's the first part, because that way we can move it all around the screen. So I like to put it in the top left-hand corner. And if you look at the bottom, you're going to see X has a check mark, circle means cancel, R, which is your joystick, is to move it around, L1 makes it smaller, and R1 makes it bigger. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and I'm going to put it in the top left-hand corner, just like this. I'm going to hit X to confirm, and then it's going to bring us back to the editing menu for this overlay. We can then choose the duration, which using your joysticks, you can actually move around and decide how long or how short you want this to be on the screen for. In my case, I'm going to do 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Then actually, you know what? We'll leave sticker animations for the next episode. That'll be more of an advanced feature. But anyways, for starters, we got like, and alongside it, we're going to hit X again, and what we're going to want to do is add the subscribe button. Now let's watch this clip all the way through, okay? Or at least just the beginning part of it. We'll go right about here. You click R2 to play your clip. What's going on, everybody? JD Game here, and today, guys, oh boy, we are back with an exciting one. Finally, JD. And there, as you can see, we added our clip successfully, and we also added some overlays, so that's perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start cutting up clips. That's probably one of, if not the most important feature to this. We're going to do this by clicking square. Now, as you can see, we got a bunch of different categories, but in our case, we're interested in the split clip. So let's watch this clip through. I know it could take a second, and we're going to find where we want to split the clip. With an exciting one, finally, JD's Best Builder returns, and nevertheless with a prize. Caden, do you want to weigh in? And I guess we'll skip a little bit. Sorry, this could take a little while. A lot of in the Buildings tab in Discord, and if you to everybody. Okay, so we'll split right here in that case. Alrighty, so let's introduce you to everybody. So you're going to click square on wherever you want to split, and then once we click square, we're going to want to select the split clip. As you can see, it brings us to a new menu. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see the split, the trash, and of course a bunch of other buttons that we don't have to worry about right now. Let's keep it simple. Let's continue with split and trash, okay? So we're just going to go to the right a bit. We're going to confirm and make sure that this is the clip. Alright, so let's introduce you to everybody. So once you're happy with where you want to split the clip, you're then going to hit X. It's going to ask you to confirm. And one thing I want to say, guys, from what I am aware of, there is no undo button. So you always want to make sure that you do your steps correctly, because if not, a crucial mistake could happen. But in this case, we're going to split. And as you can see, it breaks these up. Everybody can do. Once you're happy with where you want to split, once again, in my case, I'm happy with where I want to split. I'm going to split the clip. And now we can introduce you guys to the trash icon. That's how you can get rid of things that you don't need. As you can see now in this clip, we're actually going to go behind the scenes, and I'm just going to talk to the people. Alrighty, everybody. Please go to your stations. Do not start building, but you can start picking the blocks into your hands. As you can see, that's just a behind the scenes preparation, and then there should be a countdown. Start. And you know what? Alrighty, so it looks like this is where we start talking on camera again. We're going to split the clip. And now this whole thing, this is all just behind the scenes. This is no longer needed because we don't want this to be in the video. When you're under this menu, all you got to do is if you hit square, it's going to ask if you want to delete the clip. Once again, you always want to make sure you're not making mistakes, because if you make a mistake, you can't undo it. Confirm. We want to get rid of it. As you can see now, wait to see what everybody can do. You know what? Let's do a little ad. A clean little transition, okay? Makes it a little bit easier, everything's a lot smoother, and our clip is kind of coming along. Okay, so we've learned how to add some things to the screen. We've also learned how to split clips and delete clips. Now we're going to learn how to move them, because sometimes you might select something in the wrong order, or you want to showcase something else first. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Now, as you can see, I moved the intro over in the wrong order. I put this first clip instead, and we want this to be at the beginning, right? We don't want it to be right in the middle of the video. So we could do this by, once again, clicking square. Square is our edit menu. We're going to want to click on Move Clip. As you can see, you've got Split, Trim, Move, Delete, Clone, and Replace. In this case, we're going to want to use Move. So if we select Move, then it's going to show on the screen that we can use L1 or R1 to move the clip around. In our case, we're going to want to click L1, and we're going to put this at the beginning by hitting X. And as you can see, now our intro is back at the beginning. Now sometimes when editing, splitting a clip just can't do the trick. Another feature we can use is actually the trim clip. Now this one can be a little tricky, and you could argue that it might belong in the advanced SHAREFACTORY tutorial, but nevertheless we're going to use it in this one. Now what makes this so tricky is you can't actually hear what's going on. Now I want to show you guys my intro, and I want to see if you guys notice a problem with it. It actually takes a second to get the music going, so this is kind of just like a dead clip in the water here. Now, instead of instead of splitting the clip, we can trim the clip, and we can make it so that instead of starting here, the clip starts right here where about the music's going to start. So we're going to hit square, we're going to go to trim clip, and as you can see using the joysticks, we can actually choose how far we want to move into the clip. Now this can be a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, because one of the problems with it is you can't actually listen or hear what's going on. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're just going to have to guesstimate. Now I'm going to use my left joystick, and I'm going to push this clip into about 1 second. And let's see if that looks good. We took off a big chunk of the intro. We're going to hit X to confirm. And now let's watch it over again. As you can see, we kind of fixed it a little bit. I guess technically we could still do a little bit, so we're going to nudge this over just a tad. And as you can see, that looks a lot better. Now, if you want, you can always go back to the trim clip and you can add everything back so you're back to where you first started. That's the one good thing. But just know that if you ever need to, you can always use the trim clip feature. And there you go, just like that, everything looks a lot more smooth. So something that we actually did earlier that we could also do in the edit menu is delete clips. So what I'm going to do is instead of showing you just the delete and just the clone, I'm actually going to use them hand in hand because this is perfect. If you ever have a clip and you need a second copy of it, one of the best things you can do is actually just clone it. If you select clone, as you can see, we got 2 copies of the exact same clip. When editing, let's say you trim off the beginning, what you're going to be cloning is that exact same trimmed off clip. It's not going to give you the raw clip, so that always helps. Another thing we can do is we can just delete from this menu. If you want, you can hover over your clip, you select delete, and just like that, it's all gone, so you don't even have to worry about that. And just like that, guys, we have a lot of this actually covered, and we did a good job with it, so great work. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with where we're at in terms of the editing section. This, of course, is where we did all our clip work, and I feel like most of this stuff we can actually play around with later on. Some other things that I want to do is I want to focus now on the add section. Earlier we added some stickers, but now we're going to add some different things. So we'll start off with text. One of the most important things I find whenever you're editing a video is adding text to the screen. It could be for a counter, it could be for literally anything, you name it, and the text is useful. So to do this, it's going to be the same process that we actually went through for the stickers. So we're going to hit X, we're going to go add overlay, because as you can see in the actual overlay square, you can see text, you can see stickers and effects. And if we hover to the left and go down, you can select text. In this case, we're just going to go with standard. And you can choose your font. So in my case, I always like to choose this second one, and you can also choose the size of it, but it doesn't matter what you choose because you can edit it later. I'm just going to choose the middle one. Then in this case, what you can start doing is you can't see it on my screen, but I actually have a text box here, and you can actually start typing whatever you would like. And I'm just going to put random words. There we go. And just like that, whoops, I think I accidentally deselected it, but okay, let's do that again. Once you're done, you click R2. That'll save it, duration doesn't matter, you hit X, and just like that, you brought to the exact same menu that we had for our stickers. You can move this around with transition, you can choose the duration so it pops up whenever you like, as you can see now, it pops up wherever we like to choose, and of course anytime we can edit, text effects, text animations, we can even change the color, which I'll go more in depth with later, but nevertheless, that's how you do the text. In my case, I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. But that's essentially how you add stickers or you add text to your screen. Next up, we have filters. So for anybody that doesn't know, a filter just kind of changes the way your screen looks. And you know what? We're going to hit X and we're going to go select add filter. Once we select that, you're going to see you get different options. You got black and white, saturated, you got colorize, you got halftone, you got luminance, you got all these different effects that you can go through. This one looks kind of cool. Let's go neon. Let's select neon. And as you can see, whoa, that is weird, but it changes your entire clip. If you want to get rid of this, all you have to do is you go to, whoops, not edit overlays, edit filter, which is now an option down here at the bottom. And in our case, we're just going to delete it because we don't want it. There we go. And just like that, that's how you add a filter. Another thing we can do is we can add transitions. Now in my case, it's not going to look very cleanly. It's not going to help my case because I don't really want a transition here. But for you guys that want cool transitions, one thing I always have to say is, and it's going to warn me, you'll see in 2 seconds, you always want to have some leftover clip here and here. So at the ending of one and the beginning of the other, because it's actually going to chew up some space in there. So let's watch it. Let's watch how it transitions naturally. Let's see how it goes. Let's introduce you to everybody. So starting off on the left. Now as you can see, I talk right to the end of the clip and right to the beginning of this one. That's going to be a problem because when we add a transition, watch what it's going to do. We're going to select add transition. And I don't know, let's choose the PlayStation controllers because we're on PlayStation here, so why not? Watch what it's going to do. Alright, so let's introduce you to everybody. So starting off in the left corner, as you can see, it didn't do it too bad because this is a short transition, but it actually cuts off some of the words. So if you have your clips a little elongated and you only start a little bit into them, it's just going to chew up that instead of your actual words. So let's watch it one more time. Alright, so let's introduce you to everybody. So starting off in the left corner. Perfect. Actually, I kind of like that transition. I think we're going to go with that. It kind of stuck. It kind of worked, so why not? Now everybody's favorite part, adding music. Now, as exciting as that is, it's actually probably one of the biggest pains in the butt because not only do you have to add the music, trim it, make sure that it transitions cleanly, you also have to make sure that your audio balances correctly. So, to add music, one of the most important things I have to say is you're always best off to go on your computer and get your own. You can do this by using a USB stick, and it's a whole process. We're not going over it this video. That'll be definitely, probably not even in the advanced settings. That'll be a video in itself, importing and exporting clips in SHAREFACTORY. But I always recommend getting your own music because SHAREFACTORY does have its own, but you can't always trust it because I've gotten some copyright claims because of it. So we're going to hit X and we're going to go add music. As you can see, all of this green, this is all downloaded music. But in my case, I'm going to go use some SHAREFACTORY music that I do know is safe. We're going to go down here, and you can try out and you can select whatever you like. To play some music and test it out, you can actually hit R2. And they got a bunch of different selections that you can actually go with. But you got to be careful with some of it, because once again, some of it is copyright. I don't know which ones, you'd have to look it up and do your own fair share of research. One song that I really like, and it's not going to suit this video, but I'm going to use it nevertheless, is Bed and Beats. So I know that one is safe, I've used that multiple times. And as you can see, it's just kind of a neat little tone. But let's listen to it and let's see how loud it is and how much it cuts off all of our audio. As you can see, definitely cuts across, and you can't actually hear the regular clip anymore. So we're gonna work on that a little bit. Now, once we're back onto the main screen, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hit square because we're editing. Now the Edit Music tab is open at the bottom right hand corner, so we're going to select that. And now we can work on this piece of music. If we hit R1 and L1, it brings us to the beginning and the ending of the clip. And in this case, we're not even going to want music over our intro anyways, so we're going to hit square to edit, and we're going to move the clip. So we're going to hit Move Music, and using our joystick, we can now move it. And we want the beginning of the song to start right at the beginning of the video. You can actually use your arrow pad, so that you can use the left arrow and the right arrow to move it and make it exact. So as you can see, now it cleanly transitions. Once again, the music is too loud though. So what we can do to edit this is there's two things. A, we can actually go edit the music volume itself, or if we go out of that, just hit circle to go to the main clip. We can actually edit the clip volume, and we can change that as well. In this case, I'm going to do both. So to edit the music, we'll once again go to Edit Music. We're going to go Music Volume, and using your joystick, you can actually go up and down, or you can use your arrow pad, and you can go to whatever percent you want. It might seem really extreme, but because this is background music, I'm going to rock like 5%. And that might seem crazy, but trust me when I say the volume tab, it doesn't change very much, so you're really going to want to bring it down. Another thing is you don't want to prioritize the music. We want to prioritize our audio, right? So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to use our arrow. Obviously, we're going to go down to the bottom. We're going to hit the left arrow, and it's going to select deprioritize. Then we're going to hit X to confirm, and as you can see, the music is back and it is down in the background. Now, what you can also do is if you don't think your clip's loud enough, you can always go back, you can amp up the volume of the music, and you can actually change the clip volume. So in this case, we'll amp up the clip volume a little bit, because I always like to make sure the video is loud enough. And you can do this to apply to all. We're going to do that in this case, because then it changes all the clips, and that way we don't have to fix anything later on down the line. So just like that, guys, you've already edited you've put some music, you've edited it, you've moved it around, you've changed some clip volumes, you've put stickers and text on the screen, you've added a transition. As you can see, it's not too hard, you just gotta get used to it. A lot of what this is it comes down to practice, repetition, repetition, repetition. Once you learn all the basics, it's really easy to get advanced with this. You know, if you actually go to some of my wiffle ball videos, I've gone to the extreme where I've actually created scoreboards and stuff like that on SHAREFACTORY, because once you learn how to use it, it's a very useful tool. Now to finish things off, we're going to work on this music a little bit. We're actually going to split it, we're going to cut it down, and we're going to clone it so it would go for the entirety of the video. So in this case, I'm going to delete all of these clips over here because I'm going to pretend as if this is the ending of my video, okay? So let's delete all these. Whoops, not move, we want to delete, we don't want these. Let's delete this. Sorry, we selected a lot of clips to start off, and we'll let this be the last clip to the video. Now, when you're editing your music, right, what you're going to want to do is we're always going to want to be in our edit music tab to make things easy. As you can see now, it's a green bar on our screen instead, and it shows you all the beat and stuff, and it shows how loud it's going to get, and it's kind of useful if you use it properly. Now let's go to the end of the music. As you can see, the music doesn't actually cover the entirety of the clip. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to fix this so that it goes all the way. Now, a simple tactic that you can use is you can simply click square and you can clone the music. As you can see, the music ends, and then boom. Next thing you know, another clip is already on the horizon, and the music just keeps playing. Personally, I don't like that. I don't think it works very well. As you can see, the transition is not cleanly because the song ends and it goes dead. It would go dead for like 5 seconds, and we don't want that. So to prevent that, what we can do is we can actually go to where the beat drops. If you hit square right on that moment, you can go split music, just like what we were doing earlier to split clips, and we're going to break this up. We can then hit square to delete that little clip, and now the music ends on a beat drop. If we now clone the music, as you can see, it should transition a little bit cleaner. Now, it's not a perfect transition, and you can actually edit this clip to make them transition nicely. For fun, I can't promise this is going to be good because I'm doing it in the moment and on the spot, but let's see if I can make a little bit of a cleaner transition. Let's go right here, and you can split off the beginning, and as you can see, it should be just hopefully a little bit cleaner, maybe. Let's go right here, actually. Sorry, what the heck. You know what, while we're at it in video, see? In this case, actually, I can't split the clip. It's too small, so I have to trim. We'll go to trim music. I know that it's this little beat that I want to get to right here. I know this is a little advanced, guys, but at this point, the basics are pretty much done. Now let's try this. Let's see if this looks good. Not great, but you know what? If you had a little bit more time, you could actually choose the spot in which you want to edit. That would definitely help. But guys, I think that's going to conclude this episode. This is pretty much all the standards I would say in SHAREFACTORY. You know, you got your splitting, your duplicating, or cloning, I should say. We had some music that we added stickers, we added text. You were able to choose how long you wanted it to last. We did some transitions. I really think that we covered all the basics in SHAREFACTORY for today. If you guys do want to see an advanced episode, please let me know. Drop a comment down below, because if this does well, we can definitely look into doing some advanced things, as well as importing and exporting clips as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. But anyway, till next time, guys. Peace.